What's going on? It's me, Hash here, and this is just a sort of edited down version of the 2.5 hour session that where I was basically trying to make a hip hop track. So this is me looking for a sample, and I found a vintage sample of piano, which I thought sounded nice. So I thought that last bit sounded good, so I cut it there. So at this point I'm like, I had this idea of a stutter effect, of maybe just looping the first part. So there you go, I loop it, and I'm like, okay, there was something in there. Something to that. So I thought, yeah, okay, let's try and stutter it, and then use another part of the sample. I use that as like the response. And at this point I just thought, okay, well, the loop sounds cool, but we want it to sound a bit more sampled, a little bit more rough around the edges. So we want to kind of chop off the ends a little bit, but not too much. Just subtle. There you go. So it's subtle, but it sounds a lot better than if you just loop it. So now I'm loading up a kick. I thought that's the next logical step. Start to get a bit of a beat rolling. So luckily I have a couple of sampler instrument patches saved where I've just got like a load of different kicks on different notes. I would definitely recommend that as a way of streamlining the process. That way you don't really have to think about looking through samples, because you just got to load, so you can have the same pattern and you just kind of move it up and down the notes. And so here I wanted to make the second bar kind of follow the stutter. So I've speeded up the footage a little bit here. But I basically just try and match the so I match the pattern of the piano stutter. So now we've got like a 2-bar loop. So now let's add a snare in. So same thing as before, I've got like a snare instrument. And luckily the first one I tried actually turned out to be the best one, so I just left it. And then again, got another instrument for the hats. And then this is just me trying to like look through a good hat. Find one there, put in a pattern, but obviously that's way too straight. So we want to get some swing in there. So I just use the quantize feature in Logic to just go through a couple of the swings. So I settled on that one. I think that's swing B. So it sounded all right at the time. So I thought, yeah, let's go with that. Copied it over to the second bar, but then obviously on the second bar we want to try and like change the rhythm a little bit, so just to match that stutter. So now and then I had the idea that we wanted some sort of a hey vocal, so I went to the drawing board, try and find a hey sample. Hey. There you go, that was the one I found. Then just trying to find a good place for it, and then that was it. And there we go, we got a nice little 2-bar loop going. So let's just extend that out, turn that into a 4-bar phrase. So the stutter really is kind of like an end of a phrase type element. By the way, if you use Logic, Command R is your best friend for quickly copying sections. Just make sure your section goes all the way up into the end of the bar, and you can just Control R that, and it just whoosh, duplicates it. Easy. So next I wanted to find a vinyl hiss sound, but then I ended up stumbling on this sample, which was quite a nice bass. So, you know I'm going to throw that in, like, all day long. And it just worked straight away. It was just in the right key. I just didn't have to do anything. It's just like one of those lucky, beautiful moments where it just goes straight in, no qualms, no issues. Boom. Cool. So yeah, I thought it was a good idea to space these out. So every 2 bars. And there you go, we got like a nice little thing going. So now I wanted a double bass to kind of play off that bass. So I wanted it to kind of a sort of response section on the 2nd and 4th bars, and none of the samples seemed to do it for me, so I just created an instrument, like I had a patch somewhere saved, like a double bass patch. So I knew I wanted the double bass to play there, but I played the wrong notes, but it doesn't matter, because you can just fix that very easily. And then this is me trying to riff some sort of a response line really badly. So there you go. I just recorded that, but I knew that I could just fix it afterwards. So I timed it up afterwards. Mate, let them try, man. How you know it so well. So now I wanted a Rhodes sound, like an electric piano, like that sort of old school electric piano sample. I thought that would go well. Excuse my friends here, by the way, because I was just talking to my mates at the time. We were doing like some pub quizzes. But whilst that was happening, I was chopping up this Rhodes, and I found a nice part of it that seemed to complement the end of the section, the end of this bar quite well. So yeah, just a bit of chopping, bit of reordering. There you go. Slightly offbeat, slightly syncopated. Bob's your uncle. So here I just do a little bit of arrangement. Oh, that Rhodes is really nice. And I would say this is a good time to say the tip: if you're using Logic, then use track stacks, because it makes the workflow so much easier. If you have a lot of stuff to copy, to copy over, if you can just collapse your stack, then you can do like a whole load of tracks in one go. It just makes it really quick. And you can also do the same if you're muting sections. So for instance, up there, you might not be able to see it, but I mute the drums for like a moment, for a couple of beats, or maybe even a bar, and I could do it to the whole thing using the track stack. Now on this bit, I just wanted something to fill in the space, so I was just trying to find any old vintage thing. So this seemed good enough. Just going to use a little chop, just the beginning of that. So again, it's not really much, but it's something. Very subtle, and just turn that down, and it just adds something. So what do I do next here? So here I think I was just tweaking a little bit. I thought the stutter was a little bit, just the beginnings and the ends are just kind of like fiddled a little bit. Just to make it a little bit tighter maybe. Yeah, just tightened it up a little bit. Here you go. Here's an example of using track stacks and just control R-ing a track stack. And there you go. It's like I've just done half the work. Then if I was to like go open the track stack and just select everything. So next I wanted to get a ride, like a ride symbol in somewhere. Just for just to switch it up on the next phrase or whatever. This bit took quite a while to do. Sometimes I find rides hard. Sometimes you kind of got to do two different things. You've got to have like a hi-hat and a ride to go with it to make it sound a little bit more natural. So you see me fiddling around for a little bit, and I might just edit this down for whatever watching purposes. Hey. Hey. So it's not a bad rhythm, but then I think I end up using that on a hat and then layering a straight ride. Yeah, there you go. Hey. So I layer like a straight 4 to the floor ride over that hat pattern. So yeah. So this next bit was quite interesting. It's where I just made the actual piano sample more stuttery by taking the first bit again and sort of following the kick pattern, so you can hear it there. And another trick as well for Logic, so if you want to control our command R repeat stuff, just use a muted sample at the end of the bar that you know ends at the end of the bar. So in this case I just dragged out a bit from the next bar and muted it, and then I was just able to just, you know, just select it, control command R, just do that 3 times and it's done. Got like a nice section. So this is me trying to get a hi-hat for the intro, and I think in this process at some point I find that swing C worked better than swing B. So it worked well on the hi-hat, so I thought, well, we got to keep it consistent. If one element's going to be in swing C, then all the elements got to be in swing C. Hey. And you know what? Feels a little bit better. Let's get a cheeky crash in as well, just to signify the start of a phrase, I guess. Just give it that jazz, you know? Okay, so here I was just trying to find some sort of Foley effect that's got a bit of rhythm to dirty up the track, you know? So I found this sort of scarecrow Foley type thing. And then it's just a case of getting it in and kind of so using flex to time stretch it, so it's in time, but we don't want it too in time. It doesn't want to be too rigid. I mean, it's already kind of like a random sample. So it's got that sort of randomness in its rhythm. We want to make it kind of match what we've got. And yeah, so here I distort it up a little bit. Make it, give it that lo-fi quality. And there you go. There you have it. That's the end of the track. You can find a link to the full track in the description below. It's on SoundCloud. I uploaded it pretty much straight away. So there you go. Thanks for tuning in.